Now the Israelites they're slaves, and now they've got taskmasters that are putting them down. Now, is slavery, when you think of slavery, you would say that this is an awful thing. Yes. That it's always bad. And yet in the New Testament, here's something that's weird. The Bible comes and says, when you come to Christ, what's your identity?
You're a slave to Christ.
You're a slave. How do you feel about that? Like, parse that out in your brain. What do you think about that? You're a slave to Christ. Here's some other ones. You're a slave of righteousness. You're a slave of God. You're a bondservant of the Lord. Like, these are things that the New Testament says you lose your right to determine your future, essentially, when you come to Christ. You're a slave. You do his bidding. You good with that?
Yeah, it makes sense because it's God. I mean, in the end, he's the master of all of us, whether we bow the knee to him or not. Like, he's in control of all things. So we can fool ourselves and say that I'm not a slave to him. But, like, he's got your last breath on the calendar, whether you believe in him or not. So in the end, you are a slave to him.
Good point.
I think in the end, like, your slavery depends on who your master is. Mm-hmm. Like, if you have a good master, then you're not too worried about being a slave. If you have a master like God who's compassionate and cares about you and loves you and is sovereignly ordaining all things for his glory and your good, then you're like, awesome.
Yeah, when we think of freedom, we think of like, I have control. I get to determine my own fate. But in the reality of things, like you were talking about, when you peel it all back, how much of your life are you actually in control of?